Look over here. Look over here. Look out there. Look out there. You see them deer?
Baby, I wonder if you're alright, and I hope you're doing fine. Oh, I thought of you last night. Truth is, it happens all the time. I just can't find the light. Wondering if it crossed your mind. Truth is, I've been praying and begging to God, telling him that you're all that I got, and he's the only one who cares. Girl, I wonder how's your day, and I hope it sure was great. For me, always stays the same. Truth is, I wish you had stayed.
How's it going? Hopefully you're doing all right. Happy Friday the 13th, right? Be aware today, keep an eye on your pets, and stay away from any Masonic temples in your area. Being that it's Friday the 13th, there is sure to be plenty of these kind of people you find in the list. Doing their rituals. But we already dropped a video for Friday, so today's video is actually going to be for tomorrow, Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. Whiskey and I, we don't think too much about Valentine's Day. Just another stupid made-up day by corporations to get you to spend your money, thinking that you're professing your love to somebody who really just don't give a shit about you, right? We'll talk about simping today, huh? Some of us are just naturals at it. Simping, I guess, right? I don't know, would be equivalent to the term I'm more familiar with. PW, right? Whipped. I've had women in my past take issues with me because I would say shit, you ain't gonna whip me, I ain't whipping you, right? Because we'll get down to that. Hopefully you're not somebody being played for a fool or acting a fool on this day. Are you going broke, spending a ton of money, doing a bunch of stuff, making a bunch of perfect, awesome plans to show the person you're with how much they mean to you? And by next week, all the money you spent and all the efforts you made will account for nothing. Some of that's from experience on one of my, I'm dropping some of this information today. I don't know, just sharing some of this. It's always on my mind. And a day like today, what other way is it more perfect? But it's for us to, others to be able to see. Maybe it's helpful, but ultimately, if we look at this, I'm talking about some personal issues at the moment, right? But if we look at it, it's much the same way in the political arena, right? And how our lives were being played for fools by the government. We're simping for them, right? Get back to that, stay on track here. So anyways, you know, I'll tell you, I know from experience, one of my exes, this very day, what totally ruined this day for me. There's not, on Valentine's Day, almost every year, it's something bad. Some bad shit happened to my brother, who's no longer here, and on this day, and whatever, and give you horror stories from relationships, like, and this is what we don't, because another one of my issues is how are we as people? This is who we are as people, and we need to change, and we need to fix ourselves. And we need to understand that we're not going to fix broken people until they want to admit and understand that they are broken and want to be fixed, right? So I had one of my exes, would be the one before the last, one Valentine's Day. I mean, later on, I would find out she's just nothing but a hoe, right? Gives it out to anyone and everyone. And that'll come back around into the next example. But anyways, she would play games like many of them do. I didn't realize at the time it was because she had some shit going on. She would play games to blame me, make me start blaming myself. So anyways, this woman, eventually, whatever, we meet, we do the dating thing, get to know each other, start to become friends, right? And that's what it needs to be first and foremost before anything. Is you gotta be each other's best friend. Too many people don't understand that. My last one especially didn't understand that, right? If you can't be each other's best friend, then there's no, because here's the thing. Okay, we talk about simping and people will use this stuff, but let's be clear. That's a term that can be used and applied when people are freshly dating, right? Stuff like that. But what we don't understand is the way we're dating, the way we're using all of this stuff is against the way God designed it anyways, right? He designed man and woman, and they will find each other when they will together, they will cleave and become one, and everyone else is nothing compared to that, right? And so you should be simping for your woman, and your woman should be simping for the man, right? For all what the meaning is, right? Because that's your person. Okay, after you once, here's what most people, adults, Christians, everybody, right, don't understand is once you hit a certain point, okay, those sexual relations, that is for your souls to connect, right? That's how God designed it, with a purpose. And we're just not doing it right. Okay, the thing is, right, when you do all this thing they call simping and all this, right, all this stuff you're supposed to do to win her over or him, whatever, right, is now you won them over. Now they're your person, and that's the way it's supposed to be from here on out forever. And we don't get that, right? We think that God put us here and said, oh, here's a bunch of men and women. Now you guys find each other. Maybe I'll bring you together, and your person is out there somewhere. Go find them. That's not how it is. You meet a person when you choose to take certain steps to take it beyond just you and I are friends, acquaintances, right? When you take it further than that, then you're making that choice. From there on out, you've made that choice. Now it's your choice, if it starts to go wrong, to deal with it and fix it. Not, oh, well, I just had the wrong person for me. Now I got to find somebody else. That's wrong. And, right, I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone. I got several relationships behind me now, right? But I tried to do them right. Well, here in today's world, that has been taken over by feminism. They've made all the rules, and things just ain't going the way they're supposed to, right? And women are the worst offenders. They give it out whenever they want to whoever they want. They don't have to. We should be understanding that it was just a situation they couldn't help. Men don't get the understanding, right? No, you were wicked, and because you're the weaker, right? It proves that. Go all the way back. That's how the devil knew to tempt Eve. Because he knew he would get to Eve, she would fall for it. And she would be able to entice the man to fall for it. Right? We got to understand these things. So anyways, this woman, right? When Valentine's Day comes along, I think everything's great. Right? We had a little bit of ups and downs. It wasn't real horrible yet. Started to get some suspicions, whatever. I should have ran when I first thought of it. God was giving me the signs. We don't understand this. What God was letting me know, things weren't right behind my back. And I was ignoring those signs. Valentine's Day comes along. I spend a boatload of money. All kinds of money, right? And time and some creative things I did. Went all out. And then just to find out, and had it all sent to her while she's at work and all this and that, right? Later that night, I catch her in the parking lot in someone's vehicle getting it on, right? Caught her red-handed. It was, and this is no lie, because it actually had the place I caught her at before I could get inside the building and punch someone in the mouth. This guy's friends, that was because whatever, it was about to go down and I was outnumbered. And at that, people would say, oh, are you a badass? I don't think I'm a badass. Don't claim I'm a badass, right? But I'll tell you this much, and there's people that can jump on here and verify that before I had a chance to get near anyone, the place was surrounded by cops. Valentine's night, right? Now, fast forward to today. Well, since then, several times whenever I bump into her, right? And, later on, that was, once that happened, well, then you and I can't sleep together no more, right? Then we were falling apart. I was trying to do the right thing and fix it. She was pretending, but she wasn't. Behind my back, she was still screwing around. So one day, eventually, then I met my ex, my very last ex. After her and I split up, and some time went on, but that would happen. That's happened before, right? She would split up with me. We would split up wherever. She would hold these games when everything was going okay for me to get back with me, then cause all these problems. And when things went bad, she'd run off. When everything went bad, then she'd go run around till everything got good again, right? It was becoming a pattern. I was waking up to it. I finally woke up to it. We do this to ourselves because we don't want to face the truth and face how bad somebody is because we love them, right? And finally I opened my eyes when all that went down. So then I met my ex eventually, right? When I met my ex, I was getting to know her. And so I went, this other one found out about it, was trying to get me back, right? So, and I was honest with the ex I met, that, I say ex, at the time she became my girlfriend, right? I was honest with her and said, I'm gonna go set this shit straight. She didn't like it, but I did, right? And I told that woman, we're done. Either you can knock your shit off right now and for good, or we're done. Well, she didn't want to do that, so we were done. Since then, anytime she bumps into me here and there, and I try not to go out in these places anymore, right? It's been years now, and it's happened already before, but now here recently, a friend of mine got a hold of me. Hey, come hang out for a few minutes for a couple of drinks. And I did. And so so my friend, he was getting ready to leave, bought me a beer as he was leaving, right? Here, you finish that one, because he had to get going. I had nothing better to do. I think he was trying to get me to hang out there and meet somebody, right? But I wasn't, right? And I didn't know, so here my ex was in there, right? The one I was just talking about. I didn't know, and I'm out smoking a cigarette. She comes out, walks right up in my face. I was like, oh shit, this ain't no good. And she does, just like she has before. Oh, I seen you. She says, oh, I seen you, and I just had to come out and talk to you. You know, you'll always be the love of my life. Right? I'm like, well, I believe I tried to tell you that once. Sitting right on your porch. Gave you the chance, and you didn't take it. Right? I wasn't the love of your life then. Because you thought something more exciting came along. So that's what I told her. I looked at her, I said, who are you here with? Well, she gets quiet and then names the guy's name. I don't know him, right? I said, my point is, you're here with someone. Obviously, I'm not. Don't go telling me, playing games with me, I'm the love of your life, while you got a man inside there waiting for you, right? I said, if I was and this ain't to pat myself on the back, right? If I was the love of your life, you wouldn't be in here with somebody else. You'd be pining over me, trying to figure out how to be with me, right? Because she, oh, I've heard your music, she says, and then she starts, I know most of those songs are about, my ex, right? I said, well, whatever. But what I told her is, that's a prime example. I'm pining over someone I shouldn't way far too long, right? But I was like, I believe someone is supposed to be the love of my life. So because of that, I'm not out here running around getting drunk with other chicks and everything else, right? I'm staying alone. That's my point. It's like, I don't expect someone to have to, but don't sit there and play your games with me. Bitch, you ruined my life, right? Well, and a little bit. Now the last one ruined it far worse. Now don't let me get off track here. I don't know if I'll probably bounce around a little bit here, but if you follow along, at the end of this, an important point is going to come out, right? So, between that woman, that ex, right, and my very last ex, between that time, I was going through stuff because of that woman, right? And I was pretty much slowly coming to terms with, it was time to just get rid of her, time to move on. That's the kind of person she was wanting to be and choosing to be. And that wasn't for me, right? Because it got to the point where I couldn't even touch you because disgusting, right? I don't eat after other people. I don't drink after other people. And I certainly don't. So, anyways, so between that time, she was playing her games. I met a few people, females, right, that were interested, and I'd hang out with them a little bit, talk, get to know them, become friends. And I was honest with all of them. Usually they didn't like it. They were okay with me being honest, but they didn't like what I was saying, so they moved on because they seen that it wasn't going nowhere with me. And one I met, so between this time, so I met a woman that was a little bit older than me. Her and I became real good friends, pretty close, and she kept trying and kept making it clear. She wanted to mess around with me. She wanted a relationship with me, all this stuff, right? I kept saying we can't. Maybe at another time, but, we can't. because, and I was being honest, right? I'm not completely over this person, and until I know I am, until that bond is broken, and for me to do it properly, godly manner, then I have to, I cannot do something because I know I'll be dumb enough to go crawling back to her if she tries that route, which she was, and then that gives her all the stuff to say I'm messing around, all this and that, if that makes any sense, right? Well, I was honest with her, but she didn't like it, and I didn't know it at the time, right? And I showed her that I was a good dude. We hung out. I never took advantage of her, never, showed her how honest I was in that situation. And as I got to know her, I started to get to know the real her, because what we don't realize is when people are trying to become in a relationship, they lie to each other, right? But when they're just friends and they think there ain't gonna be nothing else, they'll tell each other the damn truth, right? So I got to know her and started to realize, well, this ain't a woman I could ever be with, right? So I turned her down. Well, I didn't realize, in a respectful manner, and still remained her friend, and didn't realize just how evil women are, right? She didn't like that, and it would come back to haunt me, because then as some more time went on, then I met my last ex, and her and I was getting to know each other, and we were already becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Well, by that time, I didn't know it. Her and I's hanging out, car pulls up, her mom jumps out, "You get away from my daughter," blah, 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 right? In a joking manner, "You stay away," right? But in a joking manner, it made it sound like it was in a joking manner, I thought, right? So, anyways, that's when I found out, after I was already with her, that was her mom. I didn't know it, right? The one that I turned down and I didn't, still at this point, through most of that relationship, I didn't know that she wasn't sitting well with her, right? Wasn't having it. That she was so evil, and this is how they are. They will get you one way or another, right? The ex I was talking about that pulled all these games on, she ended up, everyone, she caused all kinds of rumors. All kinds of rumors come around town about me, all over the place, all over this area. I was, a lot of people like that. It was kind of important at the time, right? And with the club stuff, and everyone knew me, and I was popular, and reputation, all this stuff, right? Well, my ex, the one that I told you that Valentine's Day horror story, she was starting rumors every time she wanted to go and screw around with someone, right? Because she would go screw around that way, she looked innocent. Or she would tell all these people all this shit, all these rumors were starting about me. People were believing shit about me because she was doing that, so it looked like, by doing that, then everyone thought that she was excused in what she was doing. Well, it wasn't until after when I finally completely broke up with her and went our separate ways, people started realizing now she's been through almost 10 relationships, and all of them went the same exact way. So obviously it wasn't me, it was her. And one of those dudes here recently ended up getting put in jail. Oh, I sure dodged a bullet with that, right? And especially when I find out about it, I can't feel sorry for her. I know who the problem was there, who caused it all. I feel sorry for the guy, right? But I didn't dodge a bullet, because as it turns out, my ex would end up pulling the same game on me, my last ex, right? To finally get the law on me, right? Because this is what they do. They go screw around, they play their games, and they do all this stuff And then when they make it so bad, then they call the police. The police show up without any proof, and they start accusing you of domestic violence. And they take the side of the woman, and it happens every day here in Defiance County, just like that. I'm a victim of it, and I know several other people that are, right? Speaking of all this nasty stuff that goes down, I wonder what kind of dirty deeds Mr. Troy Essex has going on. Could we say, like, we wonder what kind of people are the kinds that eat babies and, take advantage of children and all this nasty stuff we hear about coming out lately, right? What kind of people are they? Well, they're right here on our local levels, right? These kind of people. Oh, you think this guy? You think Troy Essex would be above doing that? I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that. I believe he would be exactly taking part in it. He is, one, part of the Masons, the whole group that does this stuff, right? He is, two, proven that he don't give a shit about your life or mine, right? He ruined my life. He bared false witness against me. He stole from me. All these things he's done is evil. God doesn't accept. It's a sin. If you don't fix it, Mr. Essex, you're going to end up going to hell. That's your choice, right? But do I believe he wouldn't be part of some of this nasty shit we're hearing about? These are the fucking people that's doing it, right? And they won't dare step up as a man in honor to fix the fucking problems they caused. You're just a little piece of shit. And, we're still on track here because all these problems that were coming at me, ruining my life, happened right around Valentine's Day too. When they were dragging me into court, threatening me with jail, making me pay fines, making me pay for shit, that all this shit that they had no proof of, admittedly had no proof of, all happened around Valentine's Day of that year. So to get back on track, letting you know this stuff, that way it all comes together. I bounce around, right? So then I met my ex. We're going to talk about brotherhood too, about the people that call you brother. How many of them can you trust? Less than half. I found all of this out the hard way. So I meet now my last ex, and I think finally I'm getting mine, right? Finally, I was a good guy, now I'm getting the good girl, right? The only problem was, yeah, I'm a good guy, right? When it comes to that, that's just the truth. And I'm proud of myself for that. It's not easy, right? You can't be easy when it's that way. So, but the other problem is, I'm a nice guy, right? Nice guys finish last, right? We always hear this. Well, it's the truth. And do you know why? It's because I talk about things on this channel sometimes about we don't understand the language we use and the words we use, casting spells and all this and that. Well, according to the original meaning of nice is stupid. And that's the truth. I'm not just saying that. Look it up. We go way back in history. You find out that the original meaning of nice is stupid. And that's the truth, right? So now you know why nice guys finish with stupid guys, right? When I'm dumb when it comes to women, right? I can be smart enough on anything, unless it comes to women, then I get stupid. Nice. Then I become a nice guy, right? See, but the truth is, these women don't want a nice guy, a good guy. They want some guy that trips their trigger for the moment, that acts like he's all that. And when they have him for a while, then they no longer, right? They're not searching with their hearts. They're whatever turns them on at the moment. And that's why they end up cheating and everything else, right? They can be with a perfectly great guy that does everything for them, and that no one else would be able to even do, and they'll still cheat because in the moment they don't give a shit, right? So I met my ex now, right? My last ex. And I did that, handled that on my end 100% the way it should be. It don't mean I didn't make some mistakes, right? I'm not gonna lie, I made some mistakes. One such mistake was later, as we had it great. We really did. Everything was great and awesome for a long time. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, some problems started coming out. We can get more into some of this stuff later, right? But I realized where some of these problems went. There's certain people, how come we don't go hang out with them? How come you don't seem to like this person or that person? Well, my dear, they sit at tables that slander my name. They're not good people, right? And she don't get this. Every female she knows, literally, right? She was backstabbed by everybody. Nobody had her back. I did. When things started going bad for me, I still had her back. This is where people had knives in my back long before I realized it. And she was one of them. A friend was one of them, right? And that led to all these problems that's going on with me. So, anyways, we've had this great relationship, everything's great, and then suddenly things start going bad. First of it starts off, and I'm not realizing it, she's having sleepless nights, can't sleep completely through the night. Starts making it known to me, and she just say things to me. How did you sleep all night? How come you can sleep so easily? Well, I didn't realize it at the time, but come to find out what I know now, you wasn't able to sleep because, and this is what a lot of people don't, you have restless nights, most of the time it's because you got something wrong in your life, right? Something that just ain't really right, or somewhere you're doing wrong according to God, right? She was doing wrong things. I didn't know at the time, messing around behind my back. And because of that, she wasn't able to sleep. It makes sense now, it didn't then. I just told her, I don't know, my life's what? I go to work and I got you. Everything's fine, right? She would start shit sometimes with me. The weekend would come around, I'd dress nice, right? Because all week I was dressed in my work uniform. Sometimes she'd post shit. Where are you going? What plans are you making without me? Nothing. You are my person. I spend my time with you. This is my weekend now, so I'm gonna look good for you, right? This ain't how we do it opposite. That wasn't her way. Her way was, I'll sit around frumpy around the house, but if we're gonna go do something around other people, then I'll try to look my best. Why aren't you trying to look your best for me? I'm doing it for you. But she never understood that. Always thought I had some motive. Well, I realized some of the ways she was acting, because then things it started out with sleepless nights for her. Then suddenly we're having arguments and I'm getting accused of stuff. I start getting accused of stuff. Okay, I slipped up a little bit. There was, I liked a certain person's picture on Facebook, right? From that, she started blowing up about it. And I was like, at first I was like, whatever, you're being stupid about it. But I thought about it. I'm like, well, this is my woman. I can't, if I did something that made her feel insecure or that I wanted somebody else, I need to fix it. So I totally deleted that person off my Facebook. But that should have been enough, and even apologized even more than I should even needed to, right? And that should have been enough, and that should have fixed it. Well, it didn't. Time would go on and she would keep on and throw that shit in my face and act like I was up to something. Then I find out that these people who she thinks is her friends are starting to tell her this and that I'm supposedly doing on Facebook. They were trying to get to her like there's a certain group of people here, group of women that think they're all that here in Defiance County. This one, she throws parties. Her and her husband throws parties all the time, and they think they're somebody because all the bikers show up to their party. I never did, and no one ever understood that. My ex would ask me, why don't we go? Well, because she's always running her mouth about me, and she don't know a damn thing about me. In fact, she would run her mouth like I'm a cheater and I'm doing something wrong, and never ever hung around me. And the fact of the matter is, her circle of friends, there was 2 of them that I totally turned down. And other than that, had nothing to do with any of them. But somehow my name was still on her mouth all the time. My ex, with the place she worked, started becoming friends with one of them. To this day, is probably still friends with her. But my ex don't realize that every female, literally this is how serious I am, except for her daughter, every female she knew was trying to screw around with me. Literally. I'm the one that said no each and every time. Even her very best friend. I'm the one that said no. These friends that she always wanted to go hang around, I kept saying, nah, they're not really the right people, right? They don't want to look at their shit. I don't want to get involved in that. And, well, they're not. I'm not saying they're completely bad, but they sit at tables that talk bad about me. You think they ain't doing that about you? I assure you. I mean, I found out now, later, since. Fuck, they run their mouth about her all the damn time. She don't get it, but, right? I find out things about her that I'm not even trying to find out. It's because of the mouths that run around here. Right? All these people are fooled thinking they're all friends with each other and they're all talking behind each other's back, plotting behind each other's back. Literally. These are the kinds of things that brought me down. But we'll stay on track. I've been kind of making some it's warming up a little bit. Whiskey's been taking me on longer walks, so you guys get to put up with longer videos. But, get back on track. So, she's hounding me. Starts hounding me after I done made the situation right, or thought so, right? Keeps on and on and on. So I start telling her, look, I ain't doing a damn thing wrong. I'm doing nothing but loving you, right? I go to work for you. I come straight home to you. And my whole life revolves around you. And everything you want, I make damn sure to give you. But in the end, I end up living under a bridge. And there you go, Tater. But, you know, I was all in, right? But she wanted to keep accusing me of stuff. I find out later why, right? But, so, word to the wise, if you're not doing something wrong in your relationship and your partner keeps accusing you of it, most likely they're the ones doing it. I found that out with more than one person, right? So this ex, we start, she keeps on and on and on and on. Meanwhile, I got friends that are saying, several friends, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably advice I would tell somebody. Maybe not these days, but it used to be, right? She keeps on and on and on, and I even tell her myself, look, you're gonna keep treating me like a piece of shit, I'm gonna become a piece of shit. Okay, I can't be doing greatness for you, and you keep closing your eyes and accusing me of bullshit, right? And now I got a couple of friends saying, well, just do it. If she's gonna accuse you of it, you might as well do it, right? But mostly I'm letting that go, and I loved her, and most people know that I did, right? Most people then, even that the people, friends or whatever, they knew how I felt, right? Anyway, she keeps on and on. So finally, I kicked her out, right? I'm like, this is how it's gonna be. But it wasn't supposed to be that. She played it worse than it was, right? I said, if that's how it's going to be, you just need to get the hell out then. Okay, if we're going to be enemies, I'm not going to bust my ass to do all this shit you want for it to be worth nothing, right? And by that, really, I meant for her to grab a pillow and blanket, maybe a change of clothes, and go stay at your mom's for a day or two till you figure it out, right? Till it sinks in that you're fucking up, right? But she didn't see it because this is how they are. Well, I didn't realize she had a mom plotting against me, filling her head with stuff, right? While she's dying. This is how people are. When I say people are evil, people are evil. When people allow the devil in, they allow the devil in. And they'll sit there and act like they're good people and they're going to heaven. because they acknowledge Jesus, right? Or acknowledge that there's a God. Well, I'm sorry, it's a little bit more than that. You can't be a shitty fucking person. Right? If you got kids, you got to raise your kids right. They got to be what's the matter, right? If you got a husband or wife, you got to dedicate yourself to them. It's about your people and how you treat them. And it's even how you treat strangers, right? That's whatever. So she wasn't having none of that. She wanted to put on a big show, so she grabbed all her shit and got out, right? Her brother's truck shows up and they're getting, oh, well, I guess if that's how it's going to be, right? Because I want us to have a good thing, a good relationship, and it can't go nowhere because of the shit you keep pulling, right? But, so in the meantime, so now, several days, she keeps coming back over to my house, starting issues with me, right? Why isn't this enough? Why isn't she? And then, meanwhile, also telling me she can't stand to be living with her mom. Well, all you got to do is straighten up, right? But you don't want to do that. Instead, you want to still keep accusing me of stuff. So finally, I took the advice. And I'm not happy about it, right? But I took the girl out. And I didn't mess with her. I kept it honest. Even though everyone was pushing me to just, right? So I'll tell you about this friend of mine. Brother, right? Club brother. And this guy, I was already a member when he started joining. But I mean, I knew him already a little bit before that. But he was friends with the president's family, right? So he was a shoo-in. I, on the other hand, was not. I was running around sometimes up to 200 miles away, handling club business, expanding our club, right? Doing stuff, right? Some dangerous stuff a lot of times. A lot of the dudes in the club, the younger dudes, didn't want nothing to do with it, right? Too scared to go to some of these situations that I was in. And this guy being one of them, the one I'm talking about. My friend, my brother that stepped in, and he's not the only one I've had situations. See, with the ex that I talked about to begin with, that pulled all that nasty shit on me. She, I found out later, messed around with several of my club brothers, right? That's brotherhood for you, right? They don't care how shitty life's going for you because the problems that came about because they were fucking around with your woman, right? Trust me, not everybody that calls you brother is your friend. And so, I'm back up. So this guy was giving me advice. Oh, you might as well do it, right? So I go ahead and do it. Except while we're on this halfway there, I fess up to her. I was like, look, I'm sorry. I know you was interested, so I jumped at it and I told her what I was up to. I was like, I'm trying to piss my girl off. Yeah, we're broke up now and all this and that. I'm not, right? But that's not how I want it. I love her. I want to stay with her. And I'm just trying to get her to open her eyes. And this is wrong of me. And that's why I told her, this is wrong of me. So I cut the night early. We had a few drinks, right? I dropped her off at home, did nothing, and then I went home. And I had every opportunity to, but I didn't, okay? And I felt bad about it. I was like, well, that's the wrong move. So, but anyways, that blew up. And, of course, I knew she would find out about it because my point was to her, she kept on and I said, you know who I am, that the minute I do something wrong, if I'm up to something wrong against you, you will know before the end of the night. That's how it is around here. I'm on the tip of the gossip, right? That's the truth, right? And sure enough, that's how it went down. She found out before the night was even over. But here I was, by the time she got to my house, she seen I was home alone, right? I didn't do nothing wrong, and I didn't. But it was kind of wrong. When you come down to it, God wasn't happy about it, right? So I made a mistake, and I apologized for it, tried to fix it, and all this. So this good brother of mine, right? Now, as it turns out, let me put some pieces together here. This guy was, back in the day, my woman's mother was in a relationship with this guy's brother, right? This guy is a little bit older than my friend I'm talking about, or was a little bit older than me. And his brother was dating my girlfriend's mom at one time before her and I knew each other or anything like that, right? And so he knew my girl, right? And anytime he'd be talking to me about it, he would be like, oh, you gotta get rid of her. She's just like her mother. Oh, you better get rid of her. She's just like her. You're asking for trouble. She's just like her mother. Well, obviously he knew, right? I start not trusting this guy because I already found out that he messed around with my other ex, but she was a complete whore, so I ignored it because her and I wasn't together no more. It's still not right, okay? I don't go mess around with my friends' exes, stuff like that, and especially when it's somebody they cared about or whatever. But she, anyways, he messed around with her, right? And so I start getting suspicious of him. Now, some more time's gone by. Me and my girlfriend's trying to work it out, trying to fix it. All right, she had to admit some shit she was doing too, or deny stuff, but I still knew whatever. And, you know, no matter what she had to admit to, what I was doing was always worse, right? And so, at one point in time, we're working things out and things aren't, and I'm finally trying to convince her to move back in. I'm like, you know, this is stupid. Let's stop being stupid. Get your shit here and move back in. You wasn't supposed to move completely out, right? But to be clear, she did, and she also refused to move back in. So when the shit went down, I was the only one living in my house, right? Well, anyways, she goes, whatever excuses she has, she goes on this trip with her friend. Her friend, who is not a great friend, who also tried to screw around with me several times, right? And while she's on that trip, this is why I start getting even more suspicious of something, right? While she's on that trip, sometimes I walk right into things, but I always end up finding, right, I'll play certain ways of finding shit out that people don't know what I'm up to, right? And she's on this trip with her friend just for a couple of days, right? A day or two, whatever it was. And this guy gets a hold of me, my brother, right? My buddy. And just like old-fashioned how he used to do, when we were in the club together, I would try to get him to go to this thing or that thing with me, but he always felt was too dangerous. His chicken shit ass wouldn't go along. I always turned out fine. I had a grip on things, right? But he was always too chicken shit. But I knew where a lot of the kind of drugs he done was. I didn't do the coke, right? He did it. And I knew where it was, because we'll get into some of that other too later, right? But I knew exactly where it was at because I was the one running the narcs out of town. And he would always get a hold of me when he was ready to do that. And he'd go get drugged up, drunk, mess around on his woman, mess around with these nasty freaking things. And I knew who he was. and I didn't like it. And one other reason I didn't trust him is because this is who I am. If you can screw around on your partner, on your significant other, on your husband or wife, then you cannot be trusted with anything. That's just how it is. This is what we don't understand. People who do not want to live by God's rules, but God's morals, cannot be trusted. And you'll find this out the hard way, and that's what I did, right? So this guy gets hold of me while she's on her trip, right? And, hey brother, come on over, come burn one, hang out with me, talk to you, whatever. We haven't talked in a while. He always pulled that kind of shit with me. Well, this time I wasn't. So I said, I'm not a liar. I don't like to lie on anything ever. But this time I lied to my friend, right? Not to anyone else. I wasn't lying to my woman or any other friends or anything else. It's because I was starting to get suspicious. So I told him, I was like, no, I can't, dude. I'm getting ready to take this girl out. Take her on a ride on the bike and then take her somewhere nice, go drinking, right? That's what I told him. And I was lying to him. And as it turns out, I knew I was finding out what I didn't want to find out. Anyways, so I lied to him, saying that. And because really it was a lie that would have hurt nothing, right? Because truthfully, if everything's on the up and up, it fell on dead ears, right? But however, that's not what happened. My woman gets done with her trip, comes to see me. We're sitting there, and she throws it out there. Who'd you have on the bike? I was already not feeling right, but I went along with it, and I let that lie go because it turns out I'm the one that was being lied to, right? As soon as she said that, who'd you have? And she said, somebody called me and said they seen you, passed you, and a woman was on the bike. Well, I know that's a lie because I wasn't on the bike. I'm not saying that never happened, but that day it didn't happen, right? And so I started to realize what was going on, but there was way more going on than that, and way more to bring together. There's far more to this long, crazy story, right? Of our relationship between her and I. But so I went along with it. Oh yeah, oh that was wrong of me. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Blah blah blah, right? Watch her play her dumb shit, right? Watch her get all fucking crazy on me. Watch her say her stupid shit. She ain't never getting on the bike again and everything else, right? All over a lie that I told, not to her, to a friend that was calling me brother, right? I told him that, and he got on the phone to her because he was trying to fuck her, right? It gets better when you put it all into perspective. We're not done yet, right? But wait, there's more. So, I'm not saying I was completely right on everything here, but I was doing my best to fix the situation, put us back on the right track, and knock this shit off. Of course, those efforts are useless when somebody's screwing around behind your back and not telling you, instead blaming you, right? So I started to realize all these times she was blaming me for shit I wasn't doing, driving me nuts with it, was because she was the one doing it and couldn't handle it. She knew that the gig would be up. This is what they do. This manipulators, this is what they do, right? They know they're doing something wrong, so they got to keep accusing you to keep you off the trail that they're doing something wrong. I'm telling you, I found that out with more than one person, right? The crazy ex before that I was talking about did the exact same shit. acts like she's all high and mighty. She's holier than thou. She would never do this, never do that. Wouldn't take part in this or that, while she is exactly doing that. But still, we continue. She starts, supposedly we're gonna fix it, right? So I start working hard on that. That's my goal. That's what I'm tired of playing games. I am not looking for somebody else. I'm not looking to start some other relationship. I'm wanting to fix what we got. That's who I love. That's right. And that's what I think until I find out everyone's rooting against me. So while she wants to accuse me of stuff and all this, she's doing it to please her people, right? Who don't like me, certain friends and family, right? They don't see nothing wrong with what she's doing, right? They think she's the good person and I'm the bad person or whatever. Anyways, so time goes by and supposedly we're some time goes by and supposedly we're trying to fix it. And I kept my mouth shut the whole time about knowing, right? So now I'm keeping my eyes open. What's going on? Trying to whatever about this certain friend. Turns out she was fucking around with somebody else though. And while I'm putting in efforts, right? I'm working on plan A. We got together, we made our promises before God, so I'm working on plan A. That's the only plan I have is plan A. She's working on plan B, I find out. Well, anyways, I'm dragging this on long enough. Try to get to the point here. And comes the time, then I find out that because her mom's filling her head with stuff and helping her come up with a plan that she was going to do to her man was to accuse him of violence, which he probably was. Okay, she was in a bad relationship, just like all her relationships go, because they get drugged out and they, whatever. But I was not that person, right? But I'm going to be the one to pay the price, right? Maybe her man, my ex's stepdad, maybe he deserved, because they had bullshit going on in their relationship. I did not, okay? But mom, who held a grudge against me, fills her head with shit. You need to find a better guy than him, right? This is the woman who I shown firsthand that I'm a good guy. Firsthand that I'm not screwing around behind somebody's back. Firsthand that if I love somebody, I'm doing right by them. She learned all that and still chose, because the problem is she was pissed that I never gave her the chance, right? That she was dying with this stupid husband instead of being with me, right? So she drove that wedge in there, ruining pretty much art, because then the plan comes out. What happens? One day, a series of events happens that trying to get to me. I realize now, right? These games being played. Then the cops end up being called. I'm at work and they come and drag me out of my house, accuse me of domestic violence. Right? And during that time, I'm not allowed to have any contact with my girlfriend, alleged victim, or sell anything or any of that. So I'm living in my truck. Most nights before I go to work, I stop in over to my friend Tater's house, talk to him so he can verify all the things I say about my case. If anyone wants to think through all these years, several years now, that I've made anything up, he can tell you exactly. He knows it all right from the start. He was there through it all. Except my other friend calls me, right? The brother, that good for nothing guy that's calling me brother. Hey brother, what happened? Come over and talk to me about it. Come over, smoke a joint, talk to me about it. So I do, and his woman's there. Telling him what went down, just the truth, just the facts, right? What went down, how I ended up in jail and all this shit. And he tells me, he speaks up once again, oh man, you need to just forget about her. She's like her mom, she's crazy, right? His woman speaks up. And I can tell he's getting nervous But it's in a way that, oh no, don't tell people about our problems, right? But she speaks up. Oh, you heard about what happened to us, right? They got in a bad argument. She showed up one day at his house, pounding on the door. He won't let her in. And I'm not for sure if the cops were called over it or what, but it was a big ordeal, right? And I laugh it off. Oh, wow, guys, don't be stupid. Get one of your guys' asses put in jail, right? So I don't know if to this day his woman don't realize it, right? But I didn't know then, but I find out later that he didn't open the door to let his girlfriend in when she showed up because someone else was in the house. I find this out because the dumbass goes and brags to his brother about it, and somebody heard it and told me about it, right? It's all verified, right? Who was in his house? My girlfriend, right? The one my brother says, you need to get away from her. She's just like her mom, nothing but trouble. Oh, you need to get away from that, right? Same guy who calls my girlfriend up when I lied to him and said I was taking someone out on the bike. He calls her up and runs his mouth to her, telling her I have some strange woman on the bike. And it was a complete lie. I paid the price over that lie, but it was never a lie. It was a lie to him. It should have fell on deaf ears. And I was trying to figure out who he was. I didn't know it was going to go quite that way, but that's what he did, right? This is a guy who called me brother. These are the people, right? These are your relationships. This is who we are as people. We can't get a grip on ourselves. We can't stop being evil for something that we want that don't matter, right? Okay, now back up. This friend of mine who's a little bit older than me, to call me brother, playing these fucking games with me. I've not heard from him in a long time now, and maybe it's because he realizes that I found out, or that I put it together. Because the worst thing you could do is tell me to come over and smoke a joint with you. I'll pop you in the fucking mouth if I ever see you, right? And I think he's aware of this. You ain't no brother to me, ain't no good for nothing. And there's far more to this we can get into later. I've done drugged this on long enough. Point is, now you got me on these videos lately saying to watch all the people around you. You don't know what kind of nasty people you're being friends with and all this and that. And this verifies it, the story I just shared with you. And not just because of that, but put it into a little more perspective. As I said, his brother used to date my girlfriend's mom, right? Because they are a little bit older than me. My girlfriend was a few years younger than me, and her mom was a few years older than me, right? But I never dated her mom, even when she wanted to, right? The thing is, so this guy obviously had the hots for his brother's stepdaughter, right? Or his brother's girlfriend's daughter. At that time, should have been a little girl, and he would have been a grown-ass man. Get what I'm saying there? Do I think that fucker would do it? Yeah, I don't trust him anymore for anything. I mean, get me alone with him, and I will fucking surely make sure to give him a day he would never forget. And he knows this. He knows this damn well. He got over on me, just like many people do. I find that when you are a truly trying to be a good God-fearing person, people will step on you as much as they can. So you take that into perspective. That's when I say to watch the people around you, I've just given you very good reason. It's not just that if this guy was your friend, he'd be trying to take your woman and playing games and telling her shit to make her want to screw around with him, right? It's also that this guy, if given a chance, and knowing some other stuff I know about him, I wouldn't put it past that he has messed around with minors. Right? He showed his true colors. Anyways. And the whole time, what makes it worse is the whole time, and there's people that can verify this too, it's not that I don't ever get in a situation or make mistakes, right? Or get into some close calls. But I will not betray a friend or brother in such a manner. And you see that doggy? What's he saying to you? Say something to him. So these people, every one of them, they can't face me. They don't come around me, any of them, because every one of them knows that they've done me in ways that I would never do to them. And right, and I'm not just saying that because I have been given an opportunity with the girlfriend, you know, my ex. I could almost every female she knows I could have messed around with. Her very best friend, 4 different times. Right? She would, I don't know why she don't never come over to hang out here. She wants us to go wherever they are to hang out. That's because whenever she gets to drinking, she tries to screw me, right? But you call her your best friend because she holds your secrets. And what she doesn't realize is that she doesn't hold her secrets. Come on. He's dead probably. Come on. Right? She's giving out. I don't. Watch what you're doing. You know, that's much as I'm going to say about that. But her best friend tells her secrets all the time. I've heard so much shit about her that's come from the mouth of her best friend. She don't get it because she hears her best friend talk smack about everybody else and thinks that she ain't talking smack about her just as well. Right? It is what it is. All her friends have done that. During the time that she backstabbed me, and this is not me just saying it, she knows it. It happened 100%. Everyone turned their back on her, except me. I was the only one that had her back, the only one looking out for her. Everyone that she turned to away from me turned their back on her. Well, I was the only one there, and she decided to screw me, right? And then my friend I'm talking about, they call me brother, almost every woman that he's been with. I won't touch a woman that's been with him, so there's that, right? But just about every damn woman he's been with has tried to mess with me. I couldn't do that to a friend, right? Wasn't gonna do that. I look back, I wonder why. Maybe I should have done all of them that way, but I didn't. Because I'm not that person. God won't allow that out of me. Not to say I don't make mistakes and mess up, because I do. And I feel horrible when I do, but I admit them when I do. I tell the truth, right? I admit my mistakes and face the consequences. That's the only way any of us are going to move on. All the shit you see going on in the world is because everyone's hiding from that, hiding from their own deeds. And so when I tell you that all this stuff going on a large scale, you're hearing about all this stuff with the list and all this, and I tell you, watch out for the people around you, keep your children safe, all this and that, don't just brush it off. I'm telling you that because I'm telling you from my own experience right here in this community this small community here, there are people every bit a scumbag. The only difference is they don't have all the money, right? Anyways, I don't know. That's some of the confessions of a simp. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about all this, I suppose, or anything else? Or just comment hello to Whiskey. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Whiskey and I, we appreciate it very much. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments, for that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.